no, the tragedy of life. Oh no, this again? The tragedy of being alive, of existing, of living second by second, and experiencing pain. Time to lie down and cry. Forever, by the way. To never get over it. Time to do that instead of doing what you actually should be doing, which is making art. Which brings you joy and makes you a better person, and also orients you in the long term towards the things you actually want. Yeah, that's me. I bet you're wondering how I got in this situation. I'm currently going through this, by the way. And I want to talk about the idea of continuing to be creative and making things even while it feels like your life's falling apart. Now, me personally, I'm 101st percentile neurotic, okay? My life is always falling apart, even and especially when it's not. Even and especially when I'm actually growing and surrounding myself with good people and getting opportunities and shit. Even then, I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, my life's falling apart. Now my life is actually, there's some family horror happening to me currently. And it's affecting me emotionally a lot. And so that's on my mind. That's on my mind, and that's the kind of thing that really sucks all the air out of me. This has been happening for a while, this family horror, and it rears its head every so often. And when it happens, I don't do anything. I don't do shit. And that's bad. That's not what I should be doing. Obviously, there's a time for mourning and grieving and crying and whining and angsting. And then, even after that, there's probably a time for needless suffering too. Just like pointless, needless suffering that you didn't have to do. There's time to create interpersonal dramas, sure. But maybe after all of that, you could like do the thing that's in the back of your mind that you were thinking about doing this entire time, which is making something. Doing anything, really. Even if it's just an hour. Even if you can just find 10 minutes in the grief and pain and fucking sorrow to sit down and write a script, or to edit a video, or to draw a picture, any of that. Get better at some craft, reach out to some artist, plan some collaboration. You might find, actually, that if you can pull yourself together, and I really do mean pull all the disparate parts of yourself together and force them in a direction, even if it feels hard at the time, you might feel better. You might be able to use that as an effective coping mechanism. You might find that while you are making the art that you want to make, doing the things that you want to do and moving yourself in a positive direction, that you actually become a better person. A person that can deal with whatever fucking horror is facing you. And instead of just kind of like grinding to a standstill and falling apart. Because what happens when you fall apart during tragedy, during horror, right? Nothing gets better. The world is a horror. The world's really a cruel, terrible place. Like if you stop being useful for like totally valid reasons, there's like you have like probably like a bit of support mechanism around you, but then that runs out and it's over. It's over. It's just things get worse for you. Things just get worse because you're being useless. So, look, I've got a warped, twisted, sick perspective on all of this because of my crazy mind. But that's just how I perceive things. Okay, so making art, doing the things that you know you need to do in situations like this is very important. That's not to say that you can't mourn and be useless for a little bit, sure, but at some point you do got to pick yourself out of that and stop rotting. Because it's not, whoever you're mourning, they wouldn't want that from you. They wouldn't want you to rot. They would want you to do well. So, yeah,